Welcome back to Doing Bart Things, and today I've got one shot at doing this video, and I've got run out of the house. We're getting some traffic today. Yay! Some people are going to come and take a look at it, and we'll see if we can get this this home sold, so we can also get into our new spot. It's awesome. So, a couple little quick stories that I thought were really interesting. I made a video about AI, just like, hey, this is here. There's a Microsoft AI that can literally clone your voice in 3 seconds of audio. And now my wife actually sent me this one, credit to her. This is AI can identify passwords by sound of keys being pressed, study suggests. How would this work? I think probably you could train it to pick up the actual click sounds, understand what switches those are on the keyboard, match the model of the keyboard. There'd be some sort of soundtrack of somebody actually typing on it that it would then reference to then find out what keys are being depressed. I think is maybe how that would work. Sounds fairly pretty robust for what like an AI would need to do in order to do that, but it sounds reasonable. This says it can do it with 90% accuracy. I don't know if it says in here like how much would be needed in order to do this, but this sounds like some real interesting security nightmare stuff, potentially. So find that kind of interesting. I don't even know if I want to bring this up to my boss up at work. We're already like kind of scratching our heads trying to figure out hey, you know, they can clone your voice in no time. Like, how do we deal with that? Because you know, any company out there that has actually had their CEO talk or anyone inside the organization talk is going to have more than 3 seconds of audio out there of them. Guarantee you that. So that's kind of what that video is sort of alluding to. Is could be a problem. Could be a problem for personal folks as well. Someone that wants to do someone harm and be deceptive. Anyway. But I thought this was interesting. They can literally pick up the keyboard. That's pretty stout. Anyway, it was a study, kind of a suggested thing, but I'm sure that somebody will make it a reality. Another little bit of news is apparently Tesla. Somebody jailbreak the Paywall features, so awesome. Kind of like jailbreaking your phone, basically. They've done it to a car, apparently. So, and luckily this is Tesla hackers, so that's good. Maybe, well, it says Tesla hackers. A team of hackers put in... okay. So a team of 4 hackers. So it's not like employed by Tesla. It's just people who hack Tesla stuff. All right. I hate the idea of paywall features on vehicles. I just think that that's so crap. There's been talk about that, and I think it actually exists in other countries. They say, hey, if you have the equipment to heat your seats, but if you want to use it, you need to pay us. Like, I mean, it feels like extortion. Like if I buy the car to do something, it damn well better do it. And when I pay a price of like however many tens of thousands of dollars to have the vehicle, like it better just work. Like, I hate the idea of buying subscriptions on something related to the vehicle itself that I just paid a bunch of money for. Really, really crappy. Just very predatory in nature. So, honestly, I kind of hope some of that starts to go away. I think it's funny that they hacked and got through some of the microtransaction style stuff. I'm sure it's related to like the technology. There's probably add-ons for this screen and everything, but I just find that the whole concept of that is just crazy to me. So that's why I found that interesting. Just beware, man, as time goes on and you buy a brand new vehicle, they're going to try to fleece you for stuff like this. Don't fall for it. I think all these services should... I think, hell, now maybe GM requires that you have OnStar. Is that a thing? I can't remember. But yeah, this is I hate this stuff anyway. I'm sure you do too. Now, having said all that, I've only got one take at this, so I'm going to try to talk a little bit about the latest CPU news. I talked previously about the 14th gen that was coming. So the 14th gen will be a revision of, I believe, Raptor Lake, which is already out there. I think that's the right code word. Alder Lake is what's going to follow this, I think maybe sometime next year. But in September, October, we're going to get 14th gen from Intel. And 14th gen is going to be pretty strong. I mean, the 13th gen was pretty strong. The biggest problem with the 13th gen, really all of the, like the 12th gen, 13th gen, and 14th gen will all be kind of based on the same architecture. The biggest, I would say, drawback of those have been power usage and temperature when used in a complete all-out scenario. I think people underestimate that these chips will use more power during gaming than their AMD counterparts, for example, but gaming is not super stressful, so it's not like they're using all their power while they're just playing a game. It's more of during like high workloads, benchmarking, rendering, that kind of thing, where all the cores get maxed out, that these Intel CPUs start just gulping the power. Like when they get into that situation, they really go ham, and I think it has to do with the design. So basically, 14th gen will be a little bit faster single core. We're talking 4 to 5%. It's got a tiny bit higher core clock, and the IPC has been improved a tiny bit, I think, mainly just due to some efficiency gains. Now, because that's on each core, the multi-thread performance on the 14th gen looks really impressive. It looks like a 20%, sometimes 30% increase over 13th gen. But that's that cumulative effect of each core having a little bit higher IPC, a little bit higher clock speed, kind of coming together to make the single core performance higher on each core, and that adds up a lot when you're talking like 32 cores. That said, AMD is getting ready to release potentially the 7000 series based Threadripper parts. So Threadrippers, okay, so this is a different market segment, right? For those that aren't aware, we refer to it as HEDT. That's the high-end desktop market. And basically, it's sort of like the top-end, they take the actual server parts that they're selling and kind of repackage them, bring them down to the masses. And this platform is going to get serious. Like it's going to have a lot of cores. So this is a 64 core, 128 thread part. So basically, your top of the line Ryzen CPU is 16 cores, 32 threads, which is plenty. That's a lot. A lot of people are actually pretty happy with that at certain workstations. So this is insane. This is actually insane. And there's a current part out there that is 64 cores, 128 threads. But now it's going to be sort of like the thing. Now, obviously, the prices on these CPUs are astronomical. The 24 core is like $2,400. So I don't know how price-wise these are going to be feasible. But these are going to be bin chips, and they're the same kind of chips that go into your Ryzen CPU. It's on a bigger package. They can stack more of them, and they'll probably be the top bins. Like they'll be the top chips in order to get the highest across the entire CPU, the highest clocks possible at a certain power range. Which this is 350 watts is what they're talking. That's a lot of power. That's a lot of power. But you need a lot of power to power that many CPUs, or that many cores. And this is straight up going to absolutely destroy anything else for the consumer market at the moment. I don't think Intel has anything to really compete with this. Maybe they could bring the server part down, but like their server parts, just pure performance-wise and density, are not doing well against AMD's parts. At least overall. Maybe with again, everything depends on price. If Intel's charging the right price for it, it can be viewed as a good product. But I don't think their current stuff is really a match for that many cores, for that much performance, and then AMD just has to price it appropriately, and then they win basically. It's kind of like a RTX 4090 circumstance. Like the 4090 is the most expensive video card you can buy. It's clearly the fastest as well, and unless AMD releases something to compete against it, they can charge that money. And it's sort of a similar conversation, I think, here a little bit. This is going to be a horribly expensive processor, but it will be flat out, probably the best. I mean, I think whereas the previous Threadripper is getting that 4.5 gigahertz range, these will probably be over 5 gigahertz, no problem. With that power limit, these are going to clock up much more similarly to the 7000 counterparts, and I think they will be quick. If you need to do rendering, if you have professional applications and you need the cost isn't too prohibitive for you, this will be great. You'll really like this. I don't know. I'm assuming they're going to come out with some new motherboards, but I don't know. Like, I'm not sure what the package. They actually had the what do you call it? LAN grid array for these chips before, like, when they came out. The first Threadrippers were actually the LAN grid array. They're almost like a credit card size of a package that goes onto the motherboard and is bolted down. They'll probably be quad channel memory, not dual channel. I believe that's what memory serves. That's what the 5000 series was, but it'll be DDR5, not DDR4. Obviously, because it's based off the 7000 series. So this is going to be really crazy. I'd love to get my hands on one just to be like, all right, cool, I've got like all the threads, I've got all the cores, and I'm going to go play my Minecraft on it, just to be stupid. But it's too much money to really be stupid with. You can't, I can't afford to do something like that. Maybe somebody out there in the audience or eventually could. But yeah, if you want, if you have a professional need, keep a close eye on this one. I think this will meet mostly anybody's needs for a very long time. When I say very long time, I mean I think it's going to be a couple of years probably at least before anything comes out to upgrade this. You have the Ryzen 8000 series. I don't know if they're going to make a Threadripper 8000 series CPU. I wouldn't see why not, because it will be an upgrade over these. But these will be for your multitasking. These will be the ticket. They'll be really good at gaming, but they won't be as good as the 3D V-Cache chips already out there, and they will be multiple times more expensive than the V-Cache chips, the Ryzen chips that are out there. So really, these are very niche CPU. It's somebody who's willing to pay thousands to get all of the cores for some sort of multitasking, multi-threaded use case that requires a lot of cores from the CPU. So some professional deal, right? Anyway, I just wanted to talk about that because I think it'll be a really cool part. I look forward to people building stuff with it. I'm not going to be one of those people because it's just, again, it's going to be too much money to throw at for this. But I would love to build a normal desktop that has that in there just to be like, let's see what this does. Maybe throw some benchmarks at it and see what we could do. Like, it's going to crush Cinebench. I can guarantee you that. Cinebench is going to get just demolished by this. It's going to demolish everything else with Cinebench. It will absolutely destroy the 14th gen. The 14th gen Intel CPUs will be a lot more cost effective, obviously, than this. And I think the 14th gen as a consumer part looks pretty interesting in October, but I think these will kind of come out and sort of be like that ultimate Halo. If you need CPU threads, here it is. And then AMD also has the V-cache if you're just building a gaming machine. I kind of think that's how they'll approach this. It would be nuts if they made a V-cache Threadripper. That would be, what the hell? I don't think there's any reason for them to do that. I just think it would be crazy. So that's it. Yeah, so I'll probably get this video uploaded, and I got to skedaddle, let some people check out the house. Guys, I hope you had a great weekend, and the best wishes for you going into the week, and we'll be talking to you soon.